Welcome to Teller Time, where Mountain Town stories come alive one voice at a time. It's October here in Woodland Park, and the aspens are showing off what's left of their color. The air has a crisp edge, and the town is buzzing with fall energy. Whether you're sipping a cider, stacking firewood, or just soaking in the golden light, this is the season that reminds us to slow down and enjoy. I'm your host, Thom, joined by my co-host, Charlie, coming to you from the Pikes Peak Community Center, located on the corner of 24 and 67, and as always, proudly sponsored by the Ute Pass Historical Society. Okay, on that note, yes, go check out YouTube, because there's an interesting video on Watchful Eyes Studios. There's also some good news about one of the other videos that Charlie is involved in with the Ute Pass Historical Society that just won an award. So Charlie's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks, Thom. That's the Mighty Midland and the Towns It Built, which actually is just recently got another award in Paris, of all things, as one of the premier documentaries in their film festival. So that's number 9 from worldwide that we've accomplished with that. And, the Midland, and I'm glad you're here, John, because we can certainly talk about the Midland ran right up there and helped build Woodland Park. And there's a whole lot of nice things going on we can get into in a little bit, but I'll hand it back to you, Thom, and thanks for being here.
All right, so let's get ready for our guest today, John Gemelke. Okay. Good morning, John. Thanks for joining us. My research team didn't come up with too much, but it does mention that you were involved in a sock outreach for the homeless. Plus, you are involved. You're the president of the chairman of the Downtown
Development Authority.
Downtown
DDA.
Development Authority. So you're going to tell us a little bit about that. Okay. So go right ahead. So take the mic. It's all yours to talk about your socks and what is happening downtown in Woodland Park that you're involved in.
So our sock ministry started, many years ago. We've been giving out socks to the homeless for 15 years. We give out socks. We give out about 13,000 pair of socks a year, one pair at a time. I hit the streets usually twice a week, and socks are one of the things that are most needed for people on the streets, and one of the things that are the least donated to, like shelters and things like that. And so we were just looking for a way to get back to the community, and that was one way that we came up with it, something that was useful and tangible. I don't give out money, so I wanted to find a thing that might benefit people, and socks is a big hit.
And that's up here in Teller County or
That's
over?
in Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs.
We
Okay.
don't have a large homeless community up here.
Okay.
Although I did just recently donate a bunch of socks to the new thrift store that's in the Gold Hill, the new one there, because they give back to the different charities around Teller County. So
So that tells us a little bit about sock outreach, which is nice and always good to do. Downtown, what is happening downtown? I believe you're responsible for those gorgeous hanging baskets that were up all down Main Street up till about 2 days ago, and I know that was a chore in itself because those were huge bouquets and they looked gorgeous. So what's up and happening for the future in the downtown Woodland Park?
I think the future looks really good. There was a lot of motive. The flowers. So we went to Breckenridge a couple of years ago, and we noticed the flowers that they had there. And so I took pictures of those flowers, and I remember we're on a short vacation. We're trying to do vacations in the state of Colorado. We have been for the last few years. But anyway, my wife said she saw my brain just going, because I said, I want those for the front of our building. Mm-hmm. And with our blue building, I wanted the kind of the purple, pink flowers. And so we approached the nursery in Alma, and she was too busy. She says, no, we have too much work at the ski resorts. So we found a place in Colorado Springs, and she started those flowers in March of this year for us, and we put them up in the end of May after the last frost. And those flowers took 2 hours of my day every day.
I would see him out there every morning when I'd come up to work, and he's out there plucking them, watering them, and just giving them that green thumb love.
They were taking 3 to 5 gallons of water apiece a day in the hot part. But we really felt like it was a beautiful addition. We love Woodland Park. We like the way that they look. So that being said, there is a lot of motivation The mayor reached out to me, the city manager reached out to me saying how beautiful they were and that they'd love to see more of that in Woodland Park. So we are trying to make that happen. The DDA is being part of the DDA. We're trying to make that happen for the city of Woodland Park. So if it goes the way that we would like and the plans that we have in store, we will see more flowers in Woodland Park next year.
Because you have a lot of those, I guess, like the vases, so to speak, on the other side of the street.
There are some planters that
Okay.
we've looked at and we will reuse. We're also talking about hanging some plants on the light poles. And then we're also talking about the parking lots that go behind the buildings there. They call it Bergstrom Alley. There's all the city parking lot. We'd like to make those look better too, so that when people get out of their car, they get out and it's really pretty and there's flowers. So we've got a lot of great ideas, and we've literally set aside, we've asked the city and city council approved it. The DDA has set aside $250,000 towards the beautification of Woodland Park for next season.
Wow.
So there's a couple of ideas of what we'd like to do. I don't know how much I can say about that because some of those things they're
Still in the works?
they're still in the
Okay.
works, but they are going in the right direction.
Okay. Well, I know you can talk a little bit about the $5,000 grant that a lot of the businesses received over the summertime, which was incredible. And one thing, I'll let you talk on that. But one thing I found, I learned a little bit more is, it does not just cover Main Street, which a lot of people think. Because I'm in City Market Center, and I was always kind of jealous as to how come, the Main Street always got, the prettiness and the beautification, the banners, but the coverage of, I think, Woodland Park Main Street goes far beyond just Main Street per se. Am I correct?
So the DDA is not part of Main Street.
Okay.
Main Street is a separate entity that just restarted again.
Okay.
And that's Anita Riggle, and she's running that, and they're
Okay.
doing a great job with that. We are supportive of Main Street for sure, but that just started. Anybody that's in the DDA boundaries is eligible for that money for their business.
Roughly boundaries being where? Can you?
There is a boundary map that's online that you
Okay.
can look.
Okay.
Yeah. And so one can look that up and see if their business is in that boundary.
And that website.
And it can be the Woodland Park
Okay.
website.
Okay.
And there's a special section that says DDA, and then you would find
Okay,
DDA boundaries.
good to know.
DDA has its own site, but it's under the umbrella of Woodland Park.
Okay.
What was I going to say? It can be business owners. So in other words, if you just own the business, you don't have to own the building. So it's available for business owners and the building owners, both. But
Okay.
it can only be one. Like, in other words, that one address can only have one grant.
Okay. What did you see a lot of the money being used for? What were businesses using it for? I'm sure there's a variety of ways.
There was some sidewalk repairs. There was some parking lot repairs was a big one to go towards it. 5,000 is a big, because that's money coming back to you. So if you spend $20,000, you're getting 5,000. You're getting 25% of that back in your pocket. So, and some people just used it. Some people were under the 5,000. Like for us, we did new lights because they can be inside as long as it has to do with the public as they come in. So
Okay.
in other words, so we did new lights. We did new windows on our building. For Miss Priss, I did a new door.
Pink door, which is very pretty. Yes, that pink
she
door.
asked me to do the pink, and it's just paint, and we love them. They're great.
Yes.
They're great people, so we want to do whatever it is to help them.
Okay.
We did see a lot of paint going on this year, and we've had people tell us so my wife and I, we own the Java House
Right.
building. We don't own the business, we own the building, but we're in there a lot. And we've had a lot of people come in saying that they noticed a big difference in Woodland Park this year, and that it looks much prettier. And we really like hearing that.
Even
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
The carpet store, even in
Yeah.
itself, that color change there, that makes you
Yes.
stop and look at it, and it
Yes.
draws it out just
Yes.
a little bit more. So,
And
sure.
I was a little jealous because they did a blue like ours. And my friend Darren Lee is the one that actually got to paint that. And he's the one that painted our, but it is a little bit different.
Okay.
But it does look great. And he was trying to make that look to where you're looking at Pikes Peak.
Okay.
It kind of blended. It didn't really stand out so that it added to the view.
That's nice. Yeah, so we, as the Ute Pass Historical Society and me being president, we've been recently just talking about trying to dress up our facade and everything around History Park, which is right there behind the library. in by the parking lots and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah. So we're in the process of trying to find some dollars. There's a few options. Tim Miller helped us look at one from the state that might be a good one. We're going to try to apply. We are applying for that. But it's just basically we're trying to do some landscaping, painting, and stuff like that.
So-
now, I know that's not in the DDA boundary.
Correct.
However, the city has been so good with us as far as our buildings, helping us maintain everything, and we try to help them too. So I didn't know how much of that you knew or even needed to know, but I thought I'd throw that out. And then, of course, Bergstrom Park, that's coming down the pipe. I don't know how far down in the future, as far as, when they start, the land was acquired that was bought next to it.
Yes, that's a closed deal. That's done.
That's done.
Yes.
And so sometime they're going to start the whole development of the park itself, the parking lots and all that. It's supposed to be quite nice.
It's supposed to be quite nice. I've
Yeah.
seen I went to most of the meetings.
Yeah.
And it does look like it's going to be really nice. And DDA will be involved with that.
Oh,
We
good.
will be investing some money back into that. Yeah,
Fantastic.
and the whole board is on board with it. So
That's nice.
it's just about figuring out what makes sense.
Yeah, I think, everybody's just real excited about that because it's a central part of town. And of course,
Yeah, and that side of the street has needed some attention.
it sure
We have
has.
Memorial Park on our side, and we feel like we have the prettier side. I'm not.
Right now you do.
But we also want the other side to be just as attractive.
Of course.
And we've actually approached some of the business owners over there, and they didn't take advantage of the micro grants this time, but they realized that they should have, and there's been a couple of them that are going to be doing some stuff on their own because they have a little catching up to do. And that being said, we are doing the micro grants again next year.
Oh, good.
We've already
Yeah.
we've asked for those funds too. We set another 200,000 aside for that. So we
Fantastic.
did $35,000 micro grants last time. We'd like to do a little bit more this time.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, you have done amazing stuff. I love the looks that are happening in
Thank
Woodland
you.
Park.
And
Yeah.
it's not just me, it's the community. It's a group of us. It's certainly not just me. I feel very fortunate that I get to be a part of it and that I get to lead it, so to speak, to be the head person. But it's a lot of fun and it's very rewarding. We're very grateful.
So let's talk a little bit about the Bergstrom Park. Besides the additional parking spaces, what else will it provide for, downtown and people driving through? I know that, again, I saw the drawing a little bit and it looks pretty awesome. So
I
you
don't
can
know,
tell us.
I don't know all the details, and
Okay.
it seems to be that they've locked in on something.
Okay.
It was somewhat fluid there, and there was
Yeah.
different ideas being thrown around. I haven't seen the final yet. I do know that their Tava group, it was triggered by CDOT that they have to do a turn lane there as you're heading east.
Okay.
And so that will be changing that parking lot a little bit. They're going to be using some of that space to do that. And then I think they're taking the first turn into the parking lot where you would go now to use the bathrooms. I believe that will go away, and there'll be a different entrance down a little bit lower to flow you back into that.
That's right.
You know something.
Yeah.
You probably know more, Charlie, than I do.
Well, yeah. I mean, when they narrowed it down to the final concept, you're right. They had several, and you're spot on with that turn lane, and they are going to take, because of the new parking area going down,
Yes.
adjacent to West Street, across from West Street there.
So down at the bottom of the Vectra Bank, there'll be a road
Right.
coming in there.
Mhm.
That easement is there already. But then the old propane
Yes,
place right there, that will be where you turn down
right.
and come in, and it'll be another entrance into the park.
Yeah, and
Into
it's
that- and
kind of
that'll
an
look-
alley behind it.
That'll look really pretty.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
and then also the people make fun of the, what do they call it? The Tava circle, the circle.
Right.
People make fun of that. But when I saw the concepts of Bergstrom Park, they tied that in. They're bringing that
that's
into
part of it too. Yeah.
And I think that's a wonderful
So
idea.
basically, Tom, they're going to, and yeah, he's right on with. He knows what's happening too because they're going to add some nice picnic areas. There's going to be like a bunch of plants and sound
Yeah.
buffering going
Yes.
on from the road.
Yes.
And they're going to dress up the terminal a little bit. They're going
Mm-hmm.
to make the restrooms much nicer and available, and it's all going to be incorporated. It's going to be an extraordinary look. I mean, that final concept we couldn't be happier about that.
And Tava's stayed true to their plans, which is really good because a lot of times builders will say, well, we're going to change this, this, and this. But the aesthetics of what they presented to us originally is what they're following. And I think it really adds to the whole area.
Well, yeah, even those guys, Tava, the contractor there, mentioned to me once when we were over there, those trees that are bordering between Tava and they had to take a few out, but they were historical.
I was against any trees going away, but I
me
understand
too.
a few had to go. They're
Me too.
beautiful.
Yeah, well, I think they were all, Bert Bergstrom had something to do with the planting of those over 70 years ago or something, So, yeah, they were very historical too. Okay, Tom, I've stolen your thunder.
No, that's good. I mean, that's what this is all about, is just chatting and, talk about subjects that are important to what is happening here in Teller County and Woodland Park. So at this point, we go into something I like to call the lightning round, shooting off some quick questions to John and see if we can find out a little bit more about what makes him tick. So nothing too personal, just some fun stuff. Something along the lines of, John, what is your go-to comfort food?
Mexican.
Okay, you got a favorite Mexican place up here?
Um,
Or downtown?
I forget the name of it.
Okay. All right.
I do. It's the 2-story one, the orange one.
Okay, that's Fiesta?
Fiesta.
Yeah.
Fiesta Mexicana.
That
Okay.
one up here I like, and then I go to a place called Arceo's on South
Arceo's,
Nevada
yes.
in Colorado Springs.
Okay. All right. Coffee, tea, or something stronger?
Coffee,
Okay.
breve, 4 shots,
Okay.
no sweetener.
A lot of coffee shops up here. Anyone in particular in mind that sort of sticks out to you that you fave?
Well, Java House.
Job House. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What's one thing you always carry with you?
Money.
Okay.
So, and
All right. That's good.
So it's interesting that you guys pulled that out.
Okay. Our stoic coins. Yes.
I carry this with me everywhere I go.
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's a nice one.
Okay.
That's what I carry.
What is
and,
okay?
and a very small pocket knife. Just a little one.
Okay. So what is that you're just showing me here? What is that?
This is the little cross medallion, silver.
Okay.
It's just like you can just rub your,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I do
Cool.
with it. And
All
I'll
right.
pull it out and I'll put it behind my back or in my hands. And
All right.
And
Little
then
like
also, I found that carrying a pocket knife is very useful. Just a little one, and it always has to be sharp. It's just useful.
okay. I think you can only carry like a 3.5-inch blade. I think
I
Colorado,
carry
right?
a very little one, and then I have to remember to take it out if I take somebody to the airport or something like that.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's a good one for you. One positive change in Woodland Park. I know there's a lot, but if you could pick out just one, what would you say?
That's, there's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like there seems to be a good cohesiveness and a friendliness among the different businesses in Woodland
Mm-hmm.
Park. And I really appreciate that. We want everybody to thrive, even if they're a competing business. We want them to do well. There's a very friendly business community here, and I really like that. And I think I've heard in the past that it hasn't been as friendly as it is now.
Well, I think a lot of that, and that's one thing I noticed even when we were going through all that stuff 2 years ago. I don't even say the word, but yes, COVID. There still was a lot of support in the business. Everyone sort of pulls together, and of course, you're going to have, some of the cat fights going on. But I think everyone tries to sell because everyone doesn't carry the same thing. So if I don't have it, I'm going to refer you to someone else who does it. They're going to refer someone, and it's just like the ripple effect in water. You drop a coin in the water, and the ripple effect, and everyone wins. It's not someone just peeing on their corner of Woodland Park and saying, this is my part. You can't use it. You can't do anything here. So that is, I think, one of the many things that makes Woodland Park grow and just sort of shine above many of the other areas here. And I've noticed that as the business owner myself, but it's a nice, tight area where everyone just sort of helps and watches out. And if one person is down, 5 people are there to
Yeah.
pick them up and
Yeah.
hold them up, and that's
Yes.
what's really nice about this area.
Yes.
Okay, early bird or a night owl?
Early bird up at 4 a.m.
Okay, you beat me by an hour. Okay. All right, dogs, cats, or something else?
Dogs. We have
right.
3.
All right, what do you got?
We have 2 mini Australian Shepherds, and they're about 12 pounds apiece. Brother and sister from the same mom and dad, obviously, brother and sister, 2 years apart. And we have a 8-year-old Pomchi. She's half Pomeranian, half Chihuahua. She's 5 pounds.
That's got to be a funny little sight, Pomeranian and a Chihuahua.
She's very beautiful. I'll
Yeah.
show you pictures.
Okay.
Of her. She's really a good looker. Yeah.
All right, here's one for you. How about one word that describes your vibe for today?
Today,
Yes. Yeah.
excited.
I was going to say, you're here with Charlie and me.
No,
there
I'm
should be a very excitable
Yeah.
vibe going on through here.
Happy Halloween.
All right, John, that was great. I appreciate you dropping in today and sharing some of the stories and keeping things interesting. Woodland Park is definitely lucky to have you, and Teller Time always has a seat for you here. So keep those flowers growing, John, and we'll be always happy to have you back here in the future to talk about the next chapter going on in Woodland Park Teller Time. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you, John. And I look forward to getting together with you on
Yeah,
more
Charlie, me
exciting
too.
things. You
Yeah.
know, I think there's a lot of just exciting stuff that's right
we're,
down the
We're
pipe.
really looking forward to it. We feel like we have a great future in Woodland Park.
I can see that. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again. We'll have to do this again.
I'd love to.
All right, so we want to get right into our new topic, which is called Did You Know? And today we're going to be talking about Victor, Colorado. It is just right down the road from Woodland Park, tucked into the rugged folds of the Rockies. And yes, it is called Victor. It's a town that's small in size, but massive in character. It's the kind of place where history isn't just remembered, it's still walking around. With gold rush roots, century-old buildings, and a quirky charm, it's called the City of Gold Mines, founded in 1891 during the Colorado Gold Rush. One of their biggest events and attractions they have every year is something called Victor Heritage Days, which is usually held in September. They have a lot going on, a lot of food, a lot of things for the kids to play with, but it's usually, I think, like a 2 or 3 day event, but something to check Victor out about. Other things that they have to go, it's Vindication or Vindicator Valley Trail for hiking. They have the Gold Camp Adventure Tours, which takes you to mining sites and ghost towns. Okay. There's also the Victor Lowell Thomas Museum, which showcases mining history and local lore. The local lore includes Tommy knockers, which is one of those things Victor is famous for. Tommy knocker was playing with my tongue just now. Tommy knockers, those are little small mischievous spirits that haunt mines, and they're knocking on walls perhaps to warn miners of the dangers, or sometimes they are just there to cause mischief or maybe mess with your sock drawer. Some people believe they are the ghosts of miners who died underground. There's also the Gold Coin Mine, which is rumored to have its own spectral residents. Miners have reported strange noises or tools moving on their own and eerie feelings in the tunnels. Victor Hotel is another one supposed to be haunted by former guests and workers. And back to the museum, they've also been seen to have flickering lights, footsteps, and voices when no one is around. So that gives you a little bit to check out in Victor. It's a gorgeous drive and small, quaint little town, but definitely worth a check out and see what is going on up there. And we're going to wrap things up with the events happening in our area for the next couple weeks. There's an event coming up, Christmas in the Pines, December 13th at Pikes Peak Community Center, which is where our broadcast is from. We have a new playground in Hayden Divide Park. There's one for the toddlers and one for children ages 5 to 12. They have slides, climbing features, and swings. And down the road, there's plans for a pavilion and a multi-use court. So who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of years, but Divide is one of the areas up and happening. Vampire at Cripple Creek is still playing at Butte Theater, and I've heard nothing but raves about that. Of course, everything they do is nothing but raves. And that's going to be followed by Irving Berlin's White Christmas, which you know is going to be a phenomenal. I will definitely be there for that. We have Veterans Day coming up, so a couple places in town are doing some support for veterans. Jess's Place, which is a small restaurant down on 104 Midland Avenue, always has a free veterans breakfast every Saturday at 8 a.m. And then Reservoir Gallery, which is located at 400 West Midland Avenue, will be doing a combo Meet the Artist and Veterans Potluck on Tuesday, November 11th from 4:45 to 6 p.m. Kiwanis is getting their foot in the door with a winter food drive. They are supporting families and individuals, donating non-perishable foods. Drop-off points are Hunt and Homestead Marketplace, Smith & Western Lifestyle Company, Pikes Peak Community Center, right here, Timberland Dental Care, Lake George Charter School. Okay, so that wraps up our show for today. This is Thom and Charlie again, and John still here, wrapping up the week's podcast with Victor in our rear view, though never out of heart. From ghost stories to gold veins to socks for the homeless, this town and the people remind us that history isn't just written, it's lived, echoed, and passed on. So whether you're chasing dreams, chasing legends or lore, or just chasing daylight through the Rockies, remember, every mountain holds a story, and every story deserves a voice. Until next time, let no one rob you of a single day who is not going to make you an adequate return for such a loss. Ponder that. Teller time is out of here. Thank you, folks.